My dad, at the age of 9, lost a limb. So I always knew my dad with the one leg. And my sister, when she had to learn how to climb stairs at school, she climbed the stairs like my dad did, one at a time.
Yeah.
And so when it was for the fire drills, she was the littlest and she was at the front and she was holding everybody back. So they had to teach her or tell her, you need to do the stairs this way. And she says, no, that's how my dad does it. And so they had to call my dad and say, could you talk to your daughter about
Climbing the stairs.
right? It's all we know.
Yeah.
Josh has model hair going on.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a toque all day.
Are you doing more modeling pictures there, Josh? We're gonna see you in another.
We keep looking at Mark's. We're trying.
We know it's you. You just want to tell us it was you.
I think actually someone else, another picture of someone showed up not too long ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, or there's the same person in a different magazine or different something like that.
Cool. So cool.
You got a double there, Josh. You got a double.
Doppelganger.
A doppelganger. So I'm assuming that Davina and Amin are in Toronto.
Yes, I don't think they're not making it today now.
Yeah. Do they come back tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if they're there for the week or if they're there.
To start the 16th.
Yeah, so I think they're up there to get her settled, right? I think a little bit. So.
Yeah, that was this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just us. It's just us.
Yeah. Is there anything that you guys want to do today? Anything that's sore or stiff or anything?
You mean what you don't want to do? You mean, Mark? That's your question?
What you opt to not do today.
I'll let you decide.
I'm open.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Josh is thinking. What does he want?
Josh is thinking. I can tell.
I've been hunched over the roof for 2 days now. 3 days.
Sorry?
You're breaking up, Josh.
My back's a little bit sore because I've been hunched over the roof for 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
What have you been doing?
Installing 22 solar panels.
On your house?
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm putting up a net metering array. I'll be able to generate all the electricity that I will have consumed over the year. And so all I'm going to pay is just the minimum monthly charge for hydro, just to be able, just basically to quote unquote rent the grid to store my energy that I'm producing during the day so I can use it at night.
Nice.
So did you do your shingles and then or what did you do there?
Yeah, I replaced my roof. It was due. It was 20 years.
Yeah.
So replaced those and found someone who supports the DIY net metering. So he had good prices, good advice, came down and give you, consultation, stuff like that. So I should be able, it looks like I'll be able to do the entire, like a 10 kilowatt array for under 20 grand.
Wow.
So how many panels did you put on?
I'm going to put on 22 today. I've got another 4 to do. They were back ordered on 4 of the panels, but that'll be enough to cover all my energy that I use, like all my electricity. So I'll never pay for electricity again. So over the next 30 years, which would have been the lifespan of the equipment, I would have paid 40 to 50 grand in hydro over 30 years. And so if I can build an array now for under 20 grand, then I basically cut my hydro cost in half.
I'm trying to remember how steep your roof is. Was that a big deal?
812. So you can walk on it without a harness. Like you have to wear a harness for safety, but you can certainly walk around without being,
Okay, so it's not so bad, all right.
No, like the roofers, they didn't. I mean, the roofers all wore their harnesses, but they didn't connect the rope. Except for, one guy. But because if they get caught without a harness, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
did you tie into the grid already, Josh?
No, that's the very last step. So the first step is to get your permit, get your inspection, and then the very last step is to tie in, because they have to, it has to be inspected, and then Hydro changes your meter, the one that can measure in both directions.
Right.
And then, at that point, I mean, if you produce power before that, it's for nothing. So once they change the meter, then you're good to go.
Good for you.
So yeah, like I said, it's, if I can prepay my, half the cost of my hydro for the next 30 years, it's a no-brainer. Plus, as the rates change, like right now, we're getting ridiculous subsidies, and that's not going to last. Like,
You should do the south side of our house, Jen.
Oh, yeah, we could do
We should
well.
do that, Josh.
well, if you've got the space, it's a no-brainer. Like I said, electricity costs are only just going to go up. Like they went up, and now the government subsidizes those really high rates. Well, eventually that's going to end. Like, it's not like Hydro dropped their prices. It's the government's paying the difference.
Yeah.
And, they knocked off, 30%
During
of your
this
bill.
COVID time, right?
Even before that.
Yeah,
Was it even before? Okay.
It was before, yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, back it is, my friend.
You're back.
Oh yeah,
We do lots of twists and stuff too, and we'll do like child's pose and
Lovely.
sphinx
Good
pose.
stretches.
Yeah. We'll
Great.
All right.
frogs. I'm just kidding.
What did you say?
Lots of frogs.
We'll frog for 55 minutes today.
See you later.
that would probably be less painful than my back right now.
But you guys all have blocks too, right? So we have
Yeah.
blocks and stuff.
Yep.
So okay, good.
Okay.
All right, well, let's start in Shavasana. And as you make your way into Shavasana, take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale it all out, let it all go. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale it all out, let it all go. And with every inhale and exhale, allowing your body to begin to settle. Your mind to begin to calm. And letting your day slow down. And taking a few moments to check in with yourself and notice how you're feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Taking a few moments to scan from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. And notice if there's any areas that might be a little bit sore or tender. Any areas that might be a little bit tight or a little bit stiff. And breathing into those areas, letting your breath soften anything that might be tight or stiff. Bring relief to anything that might be sore or a little bit tender. Letting your body settle a little bit more. Take a few moments to notice if you're carrying any tension anywhere. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath dissolve any tension. Letting your body melt a little bit more into the mat. Finding a little bit more rest. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. And take a few moments to set an intention for the class this evening. Something you wish to receive from your practice. And on the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. And then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees into your chest, giving them a gentle squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. Then open your arms up into a T and gently let the knees fall to the right side, coming into a twist. Trying to keep that left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. And adjusting your knees, whether you draw them closer to your chest or you soften that knee bend. Breathing into any sensations that you're feeling. Letting your breath bring softness to those areas. Finding a little bit more rest. Got a couple of more breaths here. Letting your body settle a little bit more with that exhale. On the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. And gently letting your knees fall to the left side. Keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. And adjusting your knees, whether you draw them closer to your chest or you soften that knee bend. Keep your right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. Breathing into any sensation that you're feeling on this side. Letting your breath soften those areas. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Give a couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. As we open up to happy baby, grab the outside of those feet and open the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Then draw those knees back into your chest and let them sway from the left to the right. Gently letting your knees fall to the left side or to the right side, coming into fetal position for a couple breaths. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale it all out. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up. And making your way to tabletop position. And we'll move into a couple cat-cows to loosen up our spine a little bit. So pressing into the palms of the hands, stacking them underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. On the inhale, drop your belly, pull that chin forward. On the exhale, press into your palms, round your spine. Inhale, drop that belly, pull that chin forward. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine. On the next inhale, can you open up those shoulders a little bit more, creating space between your collarbones. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine, tucking your chin in a little bit deeper. On the next inhale, maybe your eyes draw up slightly higher. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine, trying to tuck that tailbone in a little bit deeper. We'll take one more breath in here. Open up those shoulders. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine, tucking that tailbone and chin in just a moment longer. Then coming back to neutral spine. And from here, we'll make our way into Sphinx pose. So walk those hands out and then lower all the way down onto your belly, releasing your toes and drawing those elbows underneath your shoulders, releasing any tension from your legs. And if this is a little bit too intense, you could always walk those elbows out a little bit further, which will soften the curve of your spine. But take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, breathe into any sensations that you're feeling in your low spine. Maybe you feel a little bit in your mid-spine. Maybe you feel it in your shoulders. And letting your breath soften those areas. Allow your shoulders to soften. Take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, draw your chin into your chest, so stretching out your neck. Take another deep inhale here. Exhale, can you draw your chin a little bit closer to your chest? Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw the chin up. And then on the exhale, draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you draw your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder? Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Then on the next inhale, draw your chin back to center. And then on the exhale, draw your left ear to your left shoulder. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, can you draw your ear a little bit closer to your shoulder? Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, draw your chin back to center. And then slowly lift it back up to neutral. So your option to stay here in Sphinx pose this evening, or maybe you come into seal by pressing into the palms of the hands and straightening those elbows, opening up this posture. Maybe you feel a little bit more mobile in your spine and you can walk those hands up closer to your body. Keep breathing into your spine, drawing your shoulders down and away from your ears. Got 3 more breaths here. Nice deep inhale. Exhale it all out. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, breathe into any sensation that you're feeling in your spine, maybe your shoulders. Take 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly begin to lower down. As you draw your hands together and letting up your forehead rest on the top of your hands. Allow your spine to settle, your shoulders to soften. Take 1 more breath in, 1 more breath out. Then draw your hands underneath your shoulders and push up to tabletop position. And then coming into child's pose, so keeping those knees underneath your hips. And then send those hips back. And maybe you walk your elbows to your knees, or maybe you take your hands to your feet. But tucking that chin, letting your spine round. And if your forehead doesn't rest on the mat, maybe you slide a block or a cushion underneath, just to remove a bit of tension from your neck. Try to allow the shoulders to soften. Take a few more breaths here. Take 1 more breath in. 1 more breath out. Then on the next inhale, move back to tabletop position. So rolling out, then coming back onto all fours. And we're gonna move back into cat-cow, but we're gonna add movement this time. So on the inhale, drop your belly, pull that chin forward. On the exhale, press into your palms, round your spine, then send your hips down to the right and circle them all the way to the left. On the inhale, drop your belly, pull that chin forward. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine. Send your hips down to the left and circle them all the way to the right. Couple more here. Inhale, drop your belly, pull that chin forward. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine. Send your hips down to the right, circle them all the way to the left. Last one. Inhale, drop that belly, pull that chin forward. Exhale, press into your palms, round your spine. Send your hips down to the left, circle them all the way to the right. Very nice. And coming back to neutral spine. And we'll move into puppy pose or melted heart. So keeping your hips on top of your knees and then slowly begin to walk your hands out. And so if you're looking for a really deep, intense stretch, keep those arms nice and straight. If it's a little bit too intense on your shoulders here, please bend the elbows, which will soften the sensation to your shoulders and your upper back. And if you want to take it even a little bit more intensely, you can take that, you can draw your chin to the mat. And keep breathing into your shoulders. And you can always walk your hands out a little bit as well, which will change a little bit of the sensation in the shoulders to a different area. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, can you walk those fingertips out maybe a little bit further? Or if your elbows are bent, can you maybe walk those elbows out a little bit further, challenging your edge? Take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Very nice. And slowly begin to release out of this posture. As you make your way back to child's pose, so sitting on those heels, walking the elbows close to your knees, or maybe you circle them again onto your feet, but rounding your spine, tucking your chin. We'll take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then slowly begin to roll out of this posture as you make your way back to tabletop position. And we're going to set up for downward facing dog. So curl those toes, plant the hands. We're going to send those knees up and those hips back. Take a few moments here to pedal out those feet. So bending one knee, straightening the other. Repeat that on the other side. We'll take a few more here, so keep pedaling out the feet. Eventually drawing both heels down onto the mat. And from here, we'll walk our hands to our feet and make our way into a forward fold. And you can walk your feet out a little bit wider than your hips. Draw those elbows, grab onto the elbows, and gently begin to sway. You can also maybe have a slight bounce, trying to release your low spine and stretch the back of your legs. Maybe you might just feel comfortable just letting your body dangle or hang, whatever feels comfortable. Couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release the arms. And then walk your feet back underneath your hips. And from here, halfway lift, so a nice flat back. Exhale, fold, release. Inhale, circular, hands up to the sky. Exhale, draw our hands to heart center. So we're gonna just move into a couple of half sun salutations, which will warm up our spine. So on the next inhale, draw those hands up to the sky, fill up the lungs. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold, release all the way. Inhale, circular, hands up to the sky. Exhale, draw our hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, circular, hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circular, hands up to the sky. Interlace our third, fourth, and fifth fingers. Send your hips to the left, arms to the right on that exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, back to center. Cactus those arms, open up the chest. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle your hands up to the sky. And then on that exhale, let's dive all the way back down. Very nice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And from here, walk those feet out a little bit wider than your hips and come back into ragdoll. So grab those elbows and gently rock a little bit of side to side. We'll just take a couple breaths here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. And then from here, we're going to walk ourselves back into our downward facing dog. And then when you make your way into downward dog, float that right leg high to the sky. And then come into pigeon pose. So draw your right knee to your right wrist. And your right ankle to your left. And release your toes. From here, walk your hands up to set the hips. And then on the exhale, walk your hands out, coming into reclines, pigeon. Allow that right hip to settle. And maybe you rest on your forearms tonight, or maybe you walk your hands out a little bit further, allowing your upper body to draw closer to the mat. Always feel free to slide a block underneath your forehead, or you can always slide a block underneath your right hip if it's a little bit too intense. And we'll just take a few more breaths here. We're not going to hold it that long this evening. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Very nice. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. And then we're going to sit on that right glute and come into twisted deer. So sit on that right hip. Bend that left leg. Square your shoulders to the top of the mat. And then begin to walk your hands over that right leg. Take a deep breath in here. And then exhale, slowly begin to walk your hands out. So coming onto your forearms, maybe to start, maybe you stay on the palms of your hands, or maybe you walk your body all the way out. But breathing into any sensations that you're feeling. Allowing your breath to bring softness to those areas. Take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly begin to walk those hands back up. As you walk your hands back to the front of the mat, and then straighten that left leg, come back into your pigeon pose. So rock onto that right knee, plant your hands, curl those left toes, send that right leg back to your three-legged dog and give it a little bit of a gentle shake. Release your right toes down. Inhale, float that left leg high to the sky. Then draw your left knee to your left wrist. Left ankle to your right. Release your toes. Inhale, walk your hands up to set the hips. Exhale, begin to walk your hands out, coming into your reclined pigeon. Allowing your left hip to settle. And maybe you remain on your forearms this evening, or maybe you walk those hands out a little bit further, challenging your edge. Removing any tension from that right leg. And a few more breaths here. On the next inhale, slowly begin to walk your hands up. As we make our way into deer pose, so sitting on that left glute and bending that right knee, squaring your shoulders to the front of the mat, and then begin to walk your hands over to the left. About 45 degrees, take a breath in. And then on the exhale, begin to walk your hands out. And maybe you stay on the palms of your hands, maybe you come to your forearms. Or maybe you let your body completely rest on the mat. And take a few moments to notice how this side feels compared to the other side. Maybe you feel it in different areas. letting your breath soften those areas. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. We'll take one more inhale here. One more exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. As you walk your hands back to the top of the mats, straightening that right leg, come back to your pigeon pose, rocking onto that left knee, planting your hands, curling those right toes. Send that left leg back to your three-legged dog, giving it a little bit of a gentle shake. Release your left toes down onto the mat. And then coming into wide knee child's pose. So open the knees as wide as the mat. Draw your big toes together and send those hips back. Allow your shoulders to soften. And your forehead can rest on the mat. Or maybe if not, you slide a block underneath. And if it's intense on those hips, sometimes you can always slide a block underneath there just to add a little bit of support. Just so that there's not a lot of tension in the quads or in the hamstrings. Take a few more breaths here. Letting those shoulders soften a little bit more. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Slowly begin to walk your hands up. Very nice. As you draw your knees together, kick your feet to one side or another, coming into a seated position. Planting your feet on the mat and then lower all the way down onto your back. And make sure you have your block handy or a cushion. And draw your heels as close to your glutes as possible. We're going to come into supported bridge. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it all go. And then on the next inhale, send those hips up and slide that block underneath your tailbone. Or maybe you draw it up a little bit higher. And when you find that spot, just let those hips settle in to the block. Allow your palms to face up. Let your shoulders soften. And you may have to adjust this block every now and then to find a more comfortable spot, or maybe you feel like you just need to draw it up a little bit higher or draw it down. Notice if you carry any tension in your glutes or in your hamstrings. Can you allow those muscles to soften? Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales and your exhales. Letting your body soften a little bit more into this posture. We'll take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly shift those hips up as you slide that block out from underneath, slowly lowering those hips down onto your mats. And we'll take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. So the next posture, you have two options. So you can come into the waterfall if you want just a very restorative pose. So draw the knees into your chest, shift the hips up, straighten the feet up to the ceiling. If you want to go a little bit more intense, you can come into snail pose or plow pose. So keeping your neck nice and straight, walk the hands up your spine, straighten the legs and let them fall in front of your head. But if this evening you feel like restorative is where you're at, then please enjoy waterfall. If you're in plow pose, breathing into the shoulders. And option 2 for plow pose is you could bend the knees. And the option 2, if you're in plow, to roll out and come into waterfall. We've got a couple more breaths here. And if you're in plow pose, slowly begin to roll out vertebrae by vertebrae. And if you're in waterfall, draw the knees into your chest. Shift the hips up, slide that block up from underneath. And we'll all meet with our knees in our chests, giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circle your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. And then lower your feet down onto the mats. So we'll do our twist in 2 different ways today. So pick up that right foot and cross it over the left. And then from here, allow that right knee to drop down to the right side. So coming into that open twist. You can open your arms up into a T if that feels comfortable. Got a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. And then shift your hips to the right side of the mat. And then allow that right knee to drop down to the left side. So coming into that closed twist, keeping your right shoulder blade pressed into the mat. You can always let your eyes fall over that your right shoulder. You can take that left hand to your right knee. And with every exhale, you can gently apply a little bit of pressure to that right knee, just opening up this posture. Got a couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. Releasing your right leg and squaring those hips. Then pick up that left leg and cross it over the right. And then allow that left knee to open up to the left side. So coming into that open twist. Notice how this side feels. Take a couple more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. As you shift your hips to the left side of the mat and let that left knee drop down to the right side. Keeping that left shoulder blade pressed into the mat. You can always look over that left shoulder. Your right hand could rest on that left knee. And with every exhale, you just apply a little bit of pressure, opening up this posture. And take a few more breaths here. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Then on the next inhale, slowly draw those knees back up to center. As you release that left leg and square the hips. Draw your knees into your chest, giving them a nice big squeeze. From here, open up to happy baby. Grab the outside of those feet. Open the knees nice and wide. Gently rocking a little bit of forward and backwards. A little bit of side to side. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, open up to Shavasana. Legs as wide as the mat. Palms to face up. letting your body melt into the mat. Taking this opportunity to let go. Letting your body find rest. Letting your mind find peace. Taking a few moments to scan over your body. Notice if you're carrying any tension anywhere. Breathing into those areas. Letting your breath dissolve any tension. Letting your body relax a little bit more. Taking note of any thoughts that might be rising up. Gently acknowledging them. Letting them continue to pass by. Drawing your attention back to your breath. Back to your inhales. And your exhales. Letting your body find a little bit more rest. Your mind to find a little bit more peace. On the next inhale, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers. Gently moving your toes. Slowly waking up your body. Drawing your attention back to the room. Then on the next inhale, slowly reaching those arms up and overhead. Grabbing one wrist and gently pulling it to one side of the room, feeling the stretch in that side body. Then release that wrist. Grab your other wrist and gently pull it to the other side. Releasing that wrist, reach your hands to the very back of the room and your feet to the very front. On the next inhale, take a full body stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. And on the next inhale, draw both knees into your chest nice and slow. Giving them a nice big squeeze. Gently rocking a little bit of side to side. A little bit of forward and backwards. Circling your knees in one direction. Circle your knees in the opposite direction. And let your knees sway from the right to the left. Gently letting your knees fall to the right side or to the left side. Coming into fetal position. Allowing your head to cradle into your arm. Offering a couple breaths of gratitude. Grateful that you showed up on the mat this evening. Taking time to connect with your body and with your breath. Take a few moments to reflect on the intention you set at the beginning of practice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. On the next inhale, slowly begin to press your way up to a seated position. Keeping your eyes closed and drawing your hands to heart center when you arrive. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it all go. On the next inhale, slowly draw a gentle smile to your face. Exhale it all out. Take a few moments to thank your body for all the hard work it did today. I thank you, and I'm very humbled and blessed by your practice. Namaste. Great job, guys.
That was great. Good stretching.
Oh, good.
Sun salutation. Missed it.
Yeah, just the half ones are so nice too.
So
right?
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, good. How are you feeling,
Felt
Josh?
great.
Better.
Yeah.
You know that ragdoll?
Uh-huh.
I think I could fall asleep doing ragdoll.
I know
I
it's
just,
peaceful.
pardon me?
It's so peaceful.
It is. I honestly worry sometimes that I'm going to find myself doing a somersault onto the floor because I think I'm just going to go. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. We
Oh,
got an Amber Alert and our phone kept going ring, ring. That's why I had to run out to go and turn this silly thing off.
I know, and it's so loud, eh? It's like.
And on my work phone, unless you dismiss it, it will just keep on going. So
Oh no.
That's happened in the middle of the night, woke
Yeah.
us up.
yeah, scared
Yeah.
me. Yeah. Anyway, so that's why I ran out.
Crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So we'll have class on the 20th, and then we'll take that next week off, right? So we'll take the 27th off. And then
Okay.
we'll be back on the 3rd. Does that sound good?
Sounds fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Mark.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it gives us 1 week. It's like the day after Boxing Day, so maybe family's over, maybe so just gives us an opportunity.
Not too many families.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, that's good.
Crazy times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Oh, no worries. Thank you guys.
Have a lovely week.
Have a good week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You too, guys.
Yeah, and I'll see you guys on the 20th.
All
Sounds
right.
great. Thank you.
Have a good week. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Josh.
Bye. Yeah.